Greetings, 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 everyone and everything. And happy Monday. We are the Dawn of Ascension morning show. And I'm here with my Ascension Soul team. And we are here to share our views, tools, and our journey through these wild and crazy and wonky vibrations and energies we're going through right now. And we all know there's some really crazy and wonky ones. My name is Arlene, and I'm here with Aubrey, Gina, and Susie today. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
So, today we have a special message. The crystals. The crystals really have a message they want to give to us today. And we have the citrine, amethyst, clear quartz, and rose quartz crystals. And they all have specific energies, and they want to discuss their energies with us for today. Because we're going through lots and lots of changes, because we're in ascension and we're raising our vibration, and all these changes are happening, the crystals are here today to give us a heads up what we need to be doing so we know where we're going. Gina, Gina, Gina.
Oh, the crystals were most insistent that this morning. The Quartz family is really encouraging everyone to start dreaming because it's time to start creating the future in this now. So much is going to be changing in our world. How do you want to see your world? What will it look like? So the Quartz family is calling on you to really start calling on them to help you with the dreaming process. Citrine, and I have a little piece here to show, really wants to help you. You can call in the citrine energy when you're driving in your car. I think it wants that car energy while you're moving because it's so bright and sunny and sparkly. So you can see yourself in sort of a citrine bubble, and while paying attention to the road in front of you, let your mind wander as far as where would you like to be driving to? Would it be to the mountains, to the ocean? Would you like to be driving in a flying car and look down and see just fields of flowers or fields of grain, or because if the roads go away, it can be anything we want down below. um, Amethyst would love you to tune into your amethyst, this purple energy, when you're at home and start dreaming while you're sitting in your living room. If it could look any way you want it to look, what would that look like? What would your house look like? Would it have a big living room with a fireplace? If you're just in a small apartment, would it have an upstairs, a downstairs, a basement with a cold cellar if you're into preserving foods, whatever? You know, start looking at how would you like your life to look if you could have it any way you want. Do you want to be a gardener instead of a bookkeeper in a big corporation on the 17th floor of a high rise? You can start dreaming now. I give you permission, and the crystal family does. Bring in rose quartz energy when you're going to sleep, and let the beautiful pink of the rose quartz help your mind wander to where were your dreams when you were little? What did you want to do? Where did those dreams get caught up? What can you let go of to help you create those your world in a more in the most positive way that you want it to be? That's the message for the moment. Now, Aubrey, do you have any suggestions on how to help with the dreaming energies?
Yeah, so just kind of on a quantum mechanic level, when we are dreaming, what we're doing is bringing new realities into our now moment. So there is no such thing as a past life or a future life. Everything is happening right now in this current moment. They're all parallel versions of you that are experiencing different things. And so when we are present in the now moment, and imagining what life could be and what we would like life to be, we're doing the thing that we talk about over and over and over again in this show, which is replacing things that we don't want with things that we do want. And so the more time that you spend imagining and dreaming about what you'd like to have your day filled with. I mean, like when you wake up in the morning, what do you want to be greeting you in the morning? And what kind of things would you like to have on your schedule? What would you like your bed to look like? What would you like it to feel like? And when we really put tangible feelings and visualizations to that, what you're actually doing is also adding that information into your toroidal field. And so just by feeding that type of energy, you're bringing it into your now moment, and you can start raising your vibration to feel the way that you would feel there because you have spent real time visualizing it. And it's so important that the crystals are bringing this message forward today, because the crystals are programmed. We have crystals all over the earth on the, like, we have them in our houses. We have them, our entire bodies at this point. The grids are actually more of a crystalline system than they ever have been, and they will continue to be more so. and crystals, the way that the geometry works is they're programmable, and anyone who's watching the show has probably experienced programming a crystal and feeling the energy of a crystal. And so when we work with crystals and tap into the crystalline field of ourselves and the planet, and then spend time putting energy towards our dreams and our future and the realities that we prefer, we are actually programming the crystalline structure to bring that reality in, and it becomes a lot easier to manifest. And the more people that do it, the more that this entire reality for the human collective can be ushered in.
Oh, oh, finally I get it. Grandma might be slow, but she always gets it. So then it's just we're we're connected to the energy field of the crystals, and the more we put them in, that helps magnify to create our new beginning in our new world.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing to know is you don't even have to have the crystal in your possession. You can tap in to a geode in Brazil with huge amethysts if you want, or there's a cave in Mexico that has crystals that are the size of skyscrapers. They're huge. Humans are like this big in the cave with these huge crystals. You can tap into that energy and really make your dreams flow. So even tapping into the crystal, you can dream big for that. And you really will be tapping into their energy. They want to help. They are so excited to get this message out to y'all today. I can't tell you. They're just jumping up and down. So
It does sound exciting, doesn't it?
I think also it's important to, well, one of the things I love about this type of dreaming is if as Gina mentioned, if you want to dream about living on the beach or in the forest or wherever you want to live, the more specific you are with your requests to the crystals, the crystalline grid is actually going to shift itself in response to what you're dreaming. So the more the collective that is specific about their requests and requirements, the more attuned the crystal grid of the planet can be to those requests. And I've talked about before how our new grid is morphogenic, and so it's an ecosystem that moves according to how everybody else is moving. And so if you want a house on the beach, the grid can accommodate that. You just have to ask.
No more rigid thinking. No, nothing's rigid anymore, is it? It's all in a flow, and it's all flowing.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
all that nonsense about overpopulation and stuff. If any of you have ever been in an airplane and traveled across the United States, there's a lot of open space. And if you have flying cars, you're not so dependent on roads. You can live out in the country. They've done the math, and everyone in the world can fit into a small piece of Texas and still have an acre and something. I forget the exact amounts, but it was like ridiculous. The programming that has happened. So let some of that go. Really start looking at the logic of what you're being fed, the information you're being fed, and what you're prevented from looking at. Like, why can't you live over that hill where the creek flows through, and the cows and the sheep are grazing, when you can just get in your flying car and then fly over to Los Angeles for the bank job that you've got, or just dream. Why not? Oh, and there's also maglev trains that have been in operation for quite a long time, but only certain people have been able to use them. But I have a pretty strong idea that those are going to be coming online now, where you can be in Australia for dinner in for an hour or less, or go to Japan for sushi for lunch. It's the world's going to change quite a lot in the next 5 or 10 years. So let your mind wander. Where would you like that change to go?
One of the things that I love about the crystal message today is that it's not just dream, it's dream big. They're asking you to dream big. And one of the reasons for that is when you're dreaming something that you could be never in a million years imagine could happen, your system actually starts ushering that in, which brings all of the steps in between so much closer, so much faster. And so if you're dreaming of the flying cars and the house on the beach, you're ushering in that reality, which means all of the steps in between, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. So don't be afraid to dream really big. What are you hurting? You're not hurting anyone. You're dreaming.
Well, I'll tell you what, I dreamed a lot to find my soul group and to be right here, right now. I felt very strongly I had something to say. I felt very strongly I was important to this ascension, did not know where, did not know how, and there was many times the only thing I had for me to do was dream, everything, dream, that was it. And I dreamed and I dreamed and I dreamed. And so I want to say I'm sitting here in the middle of my dream right now. So now I just get to expand it some more.
Absolutely.
Susie, do you have a fairy message that might go along with this beautiful message of dream, dream, dream today?
Yes, yes, I do. And just before we got started, I was so excited about the card I pulled. I had to show you all because it just fits so nicely with dreaming. Um, you can see here that we've got a little lady here laying down who's looks like she's peacefully dreaming, and you can also look like there's like a little crystal or a little ball of light. But I also thought when I first pulled this card, I thought about Gina because Gina carries dragon energy. She works with dragon energies, and she's got like a dragon protector, which is really interesting. And of course, dragons for me, like they represent, empowerment, protection, the ancient wisdom and strength. And when I'm thinking about strength, well, there's I think of dragons, they're powerful, muscle strength, but I'm also thinking about, the inner strength and also, when you're doing endurance races, right? You're doing like a triathlon, or you're doing you're swimming across the canal, or you're doing a really, really long race. Um, and sometimes when you're really physically fit, you're in your prime 20s and 30s, you don't necessarily make it through the race. And then sometimes you see people who are in their 60s and 70s and they make it through no problem. How are they doing that, right? And I think it's they're drawing from this inner strength that they have within them. And I think, when I look at the dragon and I see this lady dreaming, I'm just thinking they're just pulling that beautiful strength out um, to the forefront. And I think we wake up from our beautiful dreaming, and we just stand in our fears, stand, um, and walk through our fears, standing in our power and our truth. We can stand in our strength and our bravery, right? And it just made me think. Gina sent me some material a little while ago, and I just have to share it because it's absolutely brilliant. Okay, let me read this out. It says, having the willingness and self-confidence to put yourself out there in uncomfortable situations over and over again, regardless of failing. And I thought that was absolutely brilliant, right? I got to read this again because for me, I got goosebumps, right? When I read this for the first time. So having the willingness and the self-confidence to put yourself out there in uncomfortable positions over and over again, regardless of the outcome. So that's what this represents for me, is that confidence and that standing in your power strength. So I just want to turn it to Aubrey for a minute. And if you can just maybe share, um, you know, about dragons and maybe a little bit about the history of Gina's dragons and how dragon energy, is currently working in our lives just now.
Yeah, well, so dragons in general right now are very present. We recently had a very new dragon grid come online on Earth, which is great because they have actually been a little bit separate from Earth for quite some time. They have been kind of figuring out what direction they want to go. So dragons are they're holders of creationary energy, and which means that they're very that's why they're so good at protecting, because they kind of know what to protect. They're here to protect creationary energy. And in the past, dragons have kind of gotten a little bit to their heads. And so they've kind of had to try to work out what that means for them to be the protectors of creationary energy. And current dragons right now are doing a really good job of stepping into their own creationary energy. Which is so wonderful here with Mother Earth, because they have now kind of evolved to the point where they're ready to co-create again. And so I love that they're coming up right now in a conversation about dreaming, because they love dreams and they love protecting dreams and they love kind of working with that type of energy. So yeah, we have a new dragon kingdom that is kind of a realm really, really close to the human collective perception field, I guess I'm going to say. And so you might be noticing more dragons around right now. There's a lot of dragons in the sky. If you see a cloud that looks like a dragon, it's probably a dragon. And they're very good with heart energies, and they would love to, they're very, very, very fierce protectors of your right to have a heart. So Yeah, that's a lot of what they're doing right now.
Well, since dragons are so good about during the dream realm, is that something that, right before we go to sleep, should we call in some dragon energy to be with us during dream time? Would that be a good thing to do?
Yes, absolutely. That's a fantastic idea. Mhm.
Yeah, I like calling in different energies at dream time. It feels a little better.
They're also very good protectors of your psyche. So if you're starting to feel a little bit like what is going on right now, you can kind of call a dragon in to just sort of hold you together while you let these energies kind of move through your body.
Oh, oh, that's really good information. I know that. I forget about that. Sometimes you go, oh, yeah, you get caught up a little bit in what's going on, and then you kind of forget. So yeah, yeah. Call on those dragon energies. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add to this beautiful message about dream, dream, dream? Well, I wonder, we having beep, 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 beep? We having a message? Beep, 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 beep. Aubrey, who wants to talk to us today?
It sounds today like the Lemurians have a little message, and it kind of goes right along with the crystal message from earlier. The Lemurians they're light beings, and they work very specifically with light and light codes. They're very, very, very good at kind of like well, Lemurian crystals are famous. And the reason that they're so powerful is because the Lemurians have instilled an inner light into the crystal field. And they are very good with working with crystals to kind of contain a light inside of them. And when I'm talking about this kind of light, it's not the type of light that emits photons that we can see. It does emit photons, but not the type that we can see. And so it gets contained there's just such expansive codes inside of that light. And they're really, really similar to the lights inside of our hearts. And so the Lemurians today just would like everybody to take a moment and to meditate into your hearts and meditate with a crystal if that's going to help you. But just kind of get to know your own inner light and your own expansiveness and your own nature and just get to know yourself a little bit. They would love to help.
Self-pondering, my favorite thing to do. Well, thank you everyone for our beautiful message today. Thank you, Crystals. Thank you, Lemurians. And if anyone has any comments or information they'd like to add, or if they have a special subject they would like for us to discuss on our show, please add that in the comments below. So we thank you very much for joining the Dawn of Ascension show. See you next time. Bye.